This time, we go behind the scenes at Britain's biggest blood factory to find out why blood is such a wonder of the human body.
There's about 26 trillion red cells in your body.
Oh, wow.
At this factory, they work 24/7 to ensure that if you ever have to have a transfusion, you get the blood you need. I'll find out how we can reduce our blood pressure without needing stretchy exercise wear or joining an expensive gym.
This is a real thigh burner.
Plus a bodily function we all do as many as 15 times a day. But what is it about breaking wind that makes you feel you need to blame the dog?
Wonders of the human body tackles the burning questions that you might have about your own body.
I'm starting out by looking for answers to a silent killer, which is incredibly common but often missed. I'm talking about high blood pressure. Your heart is there to drive blood around your body. This powerful muscle pumps away, and blood pressure is the force of the blood pushing against the walls of the vessels. Your blood pressure is a measure of the pressure on your arteries when your heart contracts and when it relaxes. That's why it's two numbers. The pressure is highest when your heart is contracting and lowest when it's relaxing. Everyone is different, but a healthy blood pressure should be less than 120/80. More than half of Brits over 65 have unhealthy blood pressure. To illustrate what's going wrong, I'm going to need a really big pump.
Well, imagine this hose over here is an artery and the engine over there is the heart. Now the heart is working to pump blood through this hose to the hungry organs of the body. Okay, lads, keep going.
Which is fine if your arteries are nice and supple.
The trouble is that as we get older, these arteries tend to become stiffer and narrower, and that means that you need even more pressure.
So your heart has to pump harder.
All that extra pressure puts strain on the heart, and it also damages the lining of the arteries.
Even if you feel fine, it is important that you get your blood pressure checked regularly, especially if you're over 50.
High blood pressure is known as the silent killer because it often comes without symptoms, and unless you've got a machine like this, you're not going to know you have it until perhaps you have a heart attack or stroke. I feel particularly strongly about this because I have several close friends who've died as a result of untreated high blood pressure.
Luckily, there are simple exercises you can do at home, which can reduce blood pressure.
Okay, so this is the plank. The idea is you go up in your elbows, keep your body straight, and hold this for as long as you can, ideally for up to 2 minutes, which I can assure you is a long time if you're doing the plank.
Isometric exercises, where you tighten your muscles but don't actually move them, like the plank or the wall sit, can help reduce blood pressure in the comfort of your own home.
So this is the wall sit. You put your legs out about 2 feet, and this is a real thigh burner.
Well, maybe comfort was the wrong word.
The idea is you try and hold it for about 20 to 30 seconds. You have a breather and you go and do it again another couple of times. Right. Now this is a surprising one, and it's particularly suitable if you can't do more conventional exercise. Now what you have to do is you have to grip this thing, and the idea is you squeeze it and then you hold it for a couple of minutes. And you do it again a couple more times, and you try and do this about 3 times a week.
You can get hold of these grip strengtheners pretty easily online. So how exactly do these sorts of exercises help reduce blood pressure? Inside your muscles, you have a network of blood vessels. When you hold an exercise pose, the muscles squeeze your blood vessels. Then, when you stop squeezing, a sudden rush of blood expands your vessels again. Repeating this on a regular basis makes your blood vessels more supple. And because they are now more supple, this helps lower your blood pressure.
It really is impressive the way that these relatively simple exercises can bring your blood pressure down. And it also shows how remarkable your body is, that it can self-repair if you give it the chance.
Don't panic if you get an occasional high reading. Many things affect blood pressure, such as poor sleep or stress. And as well as helping lower blood pressure, daily exercise is also very good for your joints.
Every hop, skip or jump I have made or will ever make is thanks to my hips. I want to find out more about these remarkable bones.
Our hips start out strong and mobile, but the sad fact is that 1 in 10 of us will eventually need hip replacement surgery. So, can we reverse our hip destiny? To keep working efficiently, our hip joints rely on the most slippery natural substance ever discovered. Not ice, but cartilage. Cartilage is amazingly flexible and also acts as a shock absorber. It doesn't have a nerve supply, so it's ideal for wherever two bones meet, preventing them rubbing against each other.
This ice is very slippery, which is why I'm walking with caution. But cartilage is actually 5 times more slippery than ice.
Super slippy cartilage plus a watery lubricant made by your blood helps your joints move with ease. But we certainly notice when it goes wrong. In Middlesex, there's someone who knows all too well the agony that hip problems can bring.
Just constant pain throughout the day. Getting in and out of the car is difficult. Just doing housework, gardening can be extremely difficult.
43-year-old Claire Hayward has been admitted for an urgent hip replacement. She has osteoarthritis, a condition where the cartilage in her hip joint has largely disintegrated, leaving the bones to rub against each other and wear away.
Consultants just told me this morning it looks like my left hip is about to collapse because the bone has worn away that much. It's osteoarthritis. I've had trouble throughout my whole life with my hips. Today I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, feeling quite emotional because I'm looking forward to actually being pain-free, and I worry about my kids. I just worry, you know, hopefully I'm going to be okay, there's no complications and I can get home within the next couple of days.
Osteoarthritis can be inherited or the result of injury or overuse. Once the cartilage has disintegrated, your best bet is a new hip.
And a pair of 8 gloves for me, please.
At the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in Stanmore, they're hoping a new kind of hip surgery, pioneered here, will help change Claire's life.
I am looking forward to this. It's been a long time since I've seen an orthopedic operation, and I imagine it has changed a great deal in that time.
Just pull it down up front.
Coming up, an extraordinary ability most of us have no idea we possess. I get to the bottom of what's really in our farts. Now, farting may not sound like one of the wonders of the human body, but it is a fascinating subject, and one I'm going to explore further with the help of this portable gas monitor. And blood. What exactly is in it? So there you go, a lovely drop of fresh blood. I'm not normally a heavy drinker, but for the sake of this programme, I thought I would pop into a local pub.
Afternoon. Brilliant. Could I get a pint of your best, please? Lovely. And could I get another pint, please? Fantastic. Thank you. And could I get another pint, please? Could I get another pint, please? And I would like one more pint, please.
Have you ever wondered how much blood there is in the human body? Well, it comes to around 5 litres, which is about 9 pints. Many of us give blood, just under a pint at a time. But what's in blood that makes it such a precious and life-saving liquid? We're heading to Bristol and one of the biggest blood processing plants in the world. Regular blood donor Micheal Mosley has already given an impressive 30 pints.
My older sister was always donating blood, so from seeing her doing it all the time, and she encouraged me to start doing it, and from then I haven't looked back.
And today he's getting inside the factory to find out firsthand what happens to the blood we donate.
It's almost like you're in a Charlie and Chocolate factory. Obviously, there's nothing you can eat. It's just amazing.
Blood doctor Lee's escort is leading his tour.
Amazing facility this is.
Yeah, so all the blood from Midlands and the Southwest comes into this unit. So your donation will come into this unit to be processed.
Once the precious donated blood arrives, it is carefully separated out into different component parts by machines. As you might expect, almost half of your blood is made up of red blood cells, essential for delivering oxygen everywhere our bodies need it. The rest is plasma, a fluid that is crucial for health and longevity. As well as carrying white cells that fight infection and disease, your plasma transports platelets that are essential for blood clotting.
Plasma's great because we can make it into a product we give to people who are bleeding. It can help stop them bleeding.
Okay.
It also contains antibodies, and that can be used for people who don't have a good immune system and can help them fight infections.
Okay.
This place is impressive, but so is the fact that your body can churn out new blood cells at an extraordinary rate.
And you're making between 2 and 3 million red cells a second. That's why you can donate blood and your body kind of replenishes it and makes more.
Every precious donation helps places like this one do their life-saving work.
All those different parts means that we can save up to 3 lives with each donation.
Okay. I want to give blood until I can't no more. I'm just going to carry on giving blood, hopefully encourage others to give blood.
There's no other pint quite like it. Cheers. Back in Stanmore, 43-year-old Claire is hoping to have her life transformed later today. Leading the surgical team at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital is Professor Alistair Hart.
So can you tell me about Claire?
She is a young lady, considering the average age of patients that we give hip replacement to. In the UK, the average age is about 67.
Alistair shows me what can happen when hip joints like Claire's lose their protective coating of cartilage.
This is what can go wrong, slightly more unusual.
So in this hip, the cartilage has worn off and you've got bone rubbing against bone.
Right.
That's what's causing squeaking.
Ooh. Wow. Was she in a lot of pain?
Agony, yeah.
To save her from further pain and disability, Alistair will remove the damaged head of Claire's thigh bone and fit an artificial implant. It's proved extremely hard to mimic a human hip because it's such an extraordinary bit of biological engineering.
So second patient, Claire, are you happy? Good. Thanks a lot.
Most artificial hips fail after 25 years, often because it's so very hard to achieve a design and fit that's precise.
That'll need to come up a little bit.
Amongst other things, Alistair and the team use a plastic 3D printed model, which helps him decide exactly where to cut Claire's bone. Positioning her new hip implant precisely should ensure it lasts longer.
And we're now going into the hip joint itself, into the capsule.
So step one will be the removal of the head of the femur, will it?
Yes.
Alistair shows me the plastic model he's made of Claire's existing thigh bone.
These are unique to this lady.
Okay.
That's the top of her thigh bone, femur.
Okay. It's really knackered, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very distorted. These are unique. And this piece fits very nicely,
Okay.
showing us exactly where to make the cut.
Okay.
And the previous method generally involves an orthopaedic surgeon using their finger,
Yes. And you have
and
to...
very approximate, and you've got to be right within degrees, this one.
Wow.
These can come out.
What those 3D models allow him to do is to align the bits up perfectly, and that means that there's much less chance that this hip will fail.
So this is the moment of truth.
Right, yep.
So
That's
will
the 3D model.
this guide
Yeah.
actually fit onto the patient's?
Yep, okay.
If this doesn't work and the artificial hip fails, Claire will be in terrible pain all over again. The next stopping point on our journey around our bodies is truly eye-opening. The human eye is another wonderful example of biological engineering. Sight is so important to us that more than half the surface of our brains, the cortex, is dedicated to processing visual information. But even if we are without vision, we can still draw on a hidden superpower.
Anybody who loses vision in the way that I did very suddenly and very quickly, it's incredibly difficult.
Jane Hyde-Dryden lost her sight in her 40s after she developed a condition called glaucoma, which caused damage to her optic nerves.
I remember sitting in my living room, not really being able to move around my house properly, not being able to stand up from the chair and move to the door. And I just felt very, very alone in this dark world.
Jane is now totally blind. But her world has been opened up by a startling new skill, something we usually associate with bats or dolphins: echolocation.
Echolocation has absolutely transformed my life. It basically involves the tongue hitting the roof of the mouth. The sound travels to the object and back to my ears.
If an echo comes back quickly, the object is close. If it takes longer, the object is further away.
And then what happens is something magical in the brain happens where the sound is transferred into an image. I use echolocation every single day.
The idea you can be trained to see using sound is extraordinary, but Jane's living proof.
I sense things throughout my entire body when I'm walking around, which sounds a bit odd and a bit weird. But so I can determine if something is hard or if it's soft, how high it is. I can see different textures. I tend to take real note of my environment.
Jane was taught how to echolocate by Dr. Laura Thaler at Durham University. Amazingly, apparently anyone can do it if they learn how.
So we have an object in front of you. It's a plank shape, so it can be vertically or it could be horizontal. So your task is to echolocate it and then tell us which orientation it is. All right. That's right, horizontal.
Yeah.
After 5 years of training, Jane now gets it right about 9 out of 10 times.
When I echolocate with something, am I using a similar part of the brain to someone who's looking at something?
Yes, that seems to be,
That is just so cool, isn't it?
yeah.
Laura has shown that as well as the visually impaired, sighted people can also learn to echolocate if they practice hard enough.
What was amazing also that the people who are blind got better, but also the people who are sighted. Everyone got better.
I think it's just so cool that everyone has the ability to learn this technique. And actually, everyone does echolocation naturally, I would suspect. So there will have been times, I'm sure, when people have gone to the toilet in the middle of the night and they have stopped because they know they're going to walk into the door frame. That is your inbuilt passive echolocation working overtime. For me, I'm really proud to be able to just move with freedom.
For all of us, sighted or not, the world can, at times, feel like it's designed to stress us out. And long-term chronic stress has been blamed for a host of serious conditions, from heart disease to depression and even Alzheimer's. But being stressed is not always a bad thing. To help explore our body's response to stress and find out what we can do about it,
I felt a little frisson of fear there.
I put myself in a very unnatural situation.
I'm halfway up a crag. There's quite a long way down, but there's an awful long way up, and this is the hard bit.
The classical fight or flight response is of such interest to us because from an evolutionary perspective, it's perhaps what allows us as a species to have survived, but we also experience it every day. You go into an interview or an exam or you have stress at work, it's the same response, it's a stress response.
Coming up, I find out what stress is and how to overcome it, if I can summon up enough courage to keep climbing. Talk about a cliffhanger. Plus, I explore the extraordinary science behind how we get around on 2 feet.
Woohoo! It is incredibly windy in here.
That's appropriate because I'm about to introduce you to one of the wonders of the human body that we don't often talk about. Did you know that women may fart more than men?
Thank you very much. Over and done, you won.
That's the head of her femur.
And will a new approach to hip replacement surgery give Claire her life back? We're in Snowdonia, where I'm on a mission to learn more about what stress does to our bodies. To do that, I'm putting myself through a very stressful experience, almost 100 meters up.
Sorry, that's my hand.
It's cold. Right.
30 minutes earlier, I was rigged with a heart rate monitor by Jamie MacDonald, who is Professor of Sport and Exercise Science at Bangor University.
What it allows us to do is just get a visual picture of what's happening to you as you respond to this fight or flight response.
Okay.
I'm expecting the monitor will show I am way outside my comfort zone, unlike Jamie's colleague, Professor Tim Woodman, who's an experienced climber.
There you go. I think he's doing very well. Well, he's obviously a little bit anxious. Interesting, I'm definitely feeling uncomfortable now.
So the green line here is Michael's heart rate response, and the orange line is Tim, who's climbing right next to him.
And that really does look quite vertical, doesn't it? It's starting to get a bit more steep, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's interesting here is that they're doing the same amount of physical work, yet Michael's response is much greater.
I do exercise regularly, but the amount my heart is racing is a clear sign of my stress response in action.
Okay, blimey. Well done.
So now Michael's overcome that initial anxiety. He needs to continue to be ready for activity.
Oh, that's it.
And there's this amazing hormone called cortisol, and cortisol's known as the stress hormone. So the cortisol will keep his heart rate high, it will trigger his blood flow to different parts of the body, the muscles, the brain, and we're going to monitor that later when we measure the cortisol in his saliva.
I've got my cortisol swab here and I'm looking through my mouth. Can you time me?
So I need 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Okay, that's it for that.
Okay. Okay, be interesting to see what the result of that is. I'd be astonished if I'm not a bit stressed.
Most of us have heard of the stress hormone cortisol. But how exactly does it work? When you're stressed, your brain sends a signal to glands near your kidneys, telling them to release cortisol into your bloodstream. That's normal. But if levels rise and stay high, that can be bad news. Too much exposure to cortisol can disrupt the body's normal processes. And that in turn can increase your risk of serious health problems, such as high blood pressure and diabetes.
Coming up. Oh, a bit shaky. So I am feeling sort of panic.
But I overcome my fear and make it to the top, and the view was well worth it. I'm no mountain goat, that's for sure. With my ordeal finally over, it's time to regroup with Jamie at the bottom.
Hi there. Oh, blimey, that was hard.
The test reveals that my cortisol was a whopping 3 times the expected level, and the effects can hang around for a few hours. So I'll probably have elevated blood pressure even after my heart rate comes down. But the odd thing is, I also quite enjoyed it.
I have to say, from a just purely personal point of view, feeling halfway up, never, ever, ever want to do this again. By the top, I was thinking, yeah, I could do this again.
A short, stressful challenge like mountain climbing can give us a feel-good buzz. But chronic stress is really bad for us. Fortunately, there are some easy things you can do to manage chronic stress and help improve your health and longevity. Having a good laugh will reduce cortisol levels. Getting active and also practicing deep breathing is especially good for calming your nervous system. And a dose of fresh air, preferably somewhere green, is always good for stress. In Stanmore, mum of 2, Claire, has been admitted for what she hopes will be life-changing surgery. Leading orthopaedic surgeon Alistair Hart is at the critical stage of the operation.
So this is the moment of truth?
Right, yep.
Earlier, he made a plastic model designed to test how well the real hip implant will fit when he puts it into Claire's body.
So let's see. It's very like Lego. And that fits very nicely to me.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
That's very solid.
The plastic template can now be put aside. It has done its job, showing Alistair exactly where he needs to cut through bone.
So that shows you exactly where you've got to cut.
Make the cuts.
Here we go. So you just cut through the bone?
So he's got absolutely no cartilage here at all, so this should be nice and soft. And it's rock hard.
Yeah.
And she's been walking on that and is a very painful joint.
Yeah.
Claire's new custom-built artificial hip is now ready to be fitted.
So that's a short, right?
And just over an hour after starting, Claire's new hip is in place.
So that's her new hip articulation.
Brilliant. And within a day or two, she's going to be up and about.
She'll be walking tomorrow morning, yeah. Maybe later this evening, if she's keen.
Right. I think the operation is done.
Only time will tell if Claire's new hip will be a success.
Good day's work? Yes.
If you experience discomfort in your hips or your lower back, it could be down to how you walk. No one really knows why humans first started walking upright, but with an erect posture came back problems. Here at the Edinburgh Centre for Robotics, they're studying exactly how we manage to get around on 2 feet, with the long-term goal of helping those who can't. And they're doing this with the help of some very unusual lab assistants.
Ooh, very good. It reminds me of teaching my children to walk. But basically, you have to grab them just as about to keel over. Whoa, there we go.
Professor Sethu Vijay Kumar is leading the team, and today I'm his guinea pig.
We're going to try running some walking tests on you.
We don't normally think that much about how we walk, we just do it. So I'll be intrigued to see what the researchers make of my walking.
Okay, what do you think?
You're looking good.
Looking good, thank you very much. Okay.
On the treadmill, cameras track sensors which are attached to my body to record my exact movements.
We actually can see you in real time on the screen. The skeleton of you walking. When humans walk, we tend to walk by falling forward.
Yep, okay.
If you look carefully, you can see I'm always off balance, slightly tipping forward. But what's amazing is my body constantly senses the ground beneath me, allowing me to respond to changing terrain without needing to think about it.
I did not expect it to do that.
So how does your body manage to react so well to surprise?
Now, I was able to correct myself almost immediately on that.
You get an unexpected event, like a push, then your automatic part kicks in, where it prevents you from falling over.
The secret to this lies in something called your reflex arc. When your legs start to stumble, nerve signals travel to your spinal cord. Messages then go straight back to your legs, telling them how to correct your balance. For the sake of speed, your reflexes actually bypass your brain. Walking, of course, is very good for us. If everyone did at least 15 minutes a day, as many as 1 in 10 premature deaths could be prevented. Our bodies have evolved to walk upright, helped by large muscles in the bum, the aptly named gluteus maximus, by our Achilles tendons, and even by the arches in our feet. Of course, cardio workouts that you can do sitting down will also provide health benefits.
Whoa, weird.
Sethu also wants to use the research being done here to help people regain mobility.
This is a small step for me, but a giant step for mankind. Hey, I love the noise, I have to say.
This is an exoskeleton, a wearable robot.
So just gently. That is very weird. There's part of me which is quite confident that I can probably... I can't dance, but I can absolutely move.
Turn, yeah. The exoskeleton can support itself.
Yep.
And
Yep.
let's say you were somebody with a disability and you didn't have the force to actually move your legs, then this exoskeleton could kick in at that point and assist you such that you feel like you're walking normally.
For many people, that would be a big thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm feeling confident.
Yeah.
For people who've had an injury, a stroke, or a condition like Parkinson's, exoskeletons like this one could one day support them as they learn to walk again.
How long do you think before people are going to start wearing these in a more routine way?
I think it's going to be at least 5 to 10 years.
That's a long time to wait, but in the meantime, I can promise you they're a lot of fun.
No, it's cool. So now I know what it feels like to be a cyborg.
Time to move on from something incredibly high-tech to something that's far more down to earth.
Ooh. It is incredibly windy in here, and that is appropriate because I'm about to introduce you to one of the wonders of the human body that we don't often talk about. And that is breaking wind. So what is it that happens when we fart, and what is in those farts?
At least this is an experiment that I can do at home. I'm trying to produce a fart to see what's in it.
Nope.
While we wait, here are some fabulous farty facts.
So on average, we produce up to 1 litre of gas a day. And then, of course, we release it. We know these numbers because scientists have studied this serious subject by putting tubes up people's rectums.
Studies have also shown that the average person farts up to 15 times a day, which over a year really adds up.
Now this is about 300 litres of gas, which is roughly the amount you produce every year.
Chances are you or someone uncomfortably close to you is likely to break wind at least once before the end of this program. Coming up, has Claire's pioneering hip surgery been a success? And will she soon be pain-free for the first time in years? I reveal the different gases that make up your farts.
You have some methane, so you're one of the lucky ones that has some methane.
And just how flammable are farts? I urge you, do not try this at home. Our journey round the human body has taken us from the top to the bottom. I've come to Loughborough University to meet Professor Jim Reynolds. Jim has kindly offered to use his considerable scientific expertise to capture and test my farts.
Hi, Jim.
Morning, Michael.
Now, I gather you've been putting something together to help collect and analyse my farts, yep?
That's correct, Michael. So this device, which we colloquially refer to as the thunder funnel.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah, you might not want to sniff that. So this is a small pump. This will extract the gas and it will measure how much gas is released.
Okay.
You've done this yourself?
No comment.
Okay, so I'm assuming what happens is you just kind of lift that in, would you?
That's correct. Place it there.
Yeah.
We switch the pump on and then open the valve. And there we go.
Brilliant.
Fart in a bag.
With the thunder funnel in place, it's now just a waiting game. There she blows.
Woohoo! Result!
Now that my wind's been captured, the team will analyse exactly what is in it, which for me at least is quite exciting. Chemist Michaela Dawkins will do the analysis.
I have an offering for you.
Thank you very much. That's quite a lot.
So, what are you expecting to find?
So I'm going to find out what's in your farts. And we're going to use this machine, which is called a gas chromatographer. It separates out the gases and tells me what's in your fart, basically.
Results time, that was fast. Fantastic.
So let's bring up here. So this is you.
So this is me.
Yeah. So first of all, most of it, as you can see, is air. So we have quite a lot of nitrogen and also carbon dioxide, which we find in the air around us.
Most of the gas we release through our bottoms is just air we swallowed earlier. But it's not all hot air. Around 100 trillion bacteria live in your intestine. They help to break down food and release gas while they do it.
The gut bacteria are obviously doing something.
Yes, which is why we have the hydrogen coming through, which we find in everybody's farts.
The thing which produces a lot of the smell,
yes,
and which we are incredibly sensitive to,
definitely,
is hydrogen sulfide.
Yes.
And where would you normally encounter it in the real world?
So rotten foods.
Okay, so really what it's measuring is rot, decay, something which is dangerous, and that's why it's so important to us.
We can test for it. So we can use something called lead acetate paper and squeeze your gases over it.
Marvelous.
It should go brown, browny black color, if there's enough in there, yeah.
Okay.
So, the moment of truth. Are my farts smelly?
Not at all brown.
Not at all brown.
Good
so
news.
Instant, whoa, hey! I may be producing farts, but they're not smelly.
Have you analysed yours?
No, not yet.
Not yet, brilliant.
So there you have it. Many of the gases coming out of your rear end come from air you've swallowed earlier. Your gut bacteria make hydrogen and pongy hydrogen sulfide. But for most people, it's there in such tiny quantities it barely registers. Despite the fact your nose is super sharp at picking up every last drop of it. And there's another gas that some of us produce, methane. I've just captured some methane gas inside these soapy bubbles. Let's see what happens when I light it.
Whoa, that was magical. Now, as you can see, methane is incredibly flammable. It is a gas produced in your gut, and not all of us do so. In fact, only around 1 in 4 people produce methane. And obviously, some people on the internet are busy trying to light their farts. I would strongly recommend you don't do that.
Whether or not you produce methane is down to your genes, your diet, and your own individual mix of gut bacteria.
When I first started looking into the subject of farts, I had no idea it was going to be quite as interesting as it is. But on the whole, the fact that we fart, well, that is just entirely human and nothing to be ashamed about.
Remember Claire, who we followed having a pioneering hip replacement? Here she is 10 weeks later.
There's no pain. I used to get pain doing this machine, but now it feels great.
Here's hoping that the cutting-edge surgical techniques we saw earlier will keep her and others like her pain-free and mobile for decades to come.
The human body is full of surprises, and what's exciting is there is so much more to learn.
Next time,
how do you remember to breathe?
Respiratory diseases are one of the main causes of death in the UK. We follow the extraordinary story of Clifford, who is undergoing pioneering lung surgery.
I don't know what to expect.
Great! 1 down, 1 billion to go.
How exactly does your body react to invading viruses like the flu?
The nice drop now.
And I reveal 3 things you can do to keep your brain in peak condition as you age.
Whoa!
Those wonders of the human body next Thursday.